heck of a football game. Obviously came down to the last possession. A lot of good out there. I think probably what I'm most proud of is how hard the players played in the game. They put it on the line. I think across the board. It wasn't always pretty, but you're talking about a group that I'm on the sideline. I watched it with my own two eyes. And they played the game of football the right way. Got nothing but respect and admiration for our players. The effort, the physicality, the mental toughness. This is a group that's made a ton of progress as people, right? Relative to making up a team, right? Having a team, having a group that cares for each other. That there's a legitimate brotherhood, right? Like I would do anything for a teammate in that locker room, right? And I think that showed up tonight. There's going to be 20, 25, 30 plays. We get a handful of those, 25 or 30, we probably win the game, okay? But we come up a little short. The football wasn't good enough tonight. There was a lot of good ball out there, but there was some things that we can do better. There's no question. But I think probably I'm proud of the intangibles that our team showed. In that locker room right now, there's a lot of guys that are. It's tough. It's tough. When you do it the right way and you come up short, it's tough. I think it creates opportunities. There's no question that, we need to remember every single part of that experience. This game can teach you a lot about life. And I think that there's going to be lots of things that we can learn from tonight. But came up a score short, and there's no question we can do a lot of things better. But I am extremely proud. Staff had them ready to compete, and they showed up and put it on the line. So tough one to swallow. But we're going to get better. We're going to improve. We're going to use that experience. What questions we got here?
We'll just open it for question, guys.
The start of the third quarter, I guess the three and outs, some of the play calls, do you wish you had some on back, or how do you view just how you guys started, how you guys came out of the gate?
Yeah, no, I think first and second down in particular, bang, bang, plays on some of those. But there's no question can do some things better there, across the board.
Anthony, I think, had 3 touchdown passes for 7 throws, and then he went in a funk. I think he might have missed his next 11. Was he just not seeing some things, or were they just defending the plays?
Well, I think you've got to evaluate each one of those plays independently, right?
Sure.
I saw a guy that competed. That's what I saw. I saw a guy that made some unbelievable plays, as a runner. Made some elite throws at times. There's when you play in a game like that, there's going to be things that you can do better. There's no question. So even if you win the game, okay, that's the thing we got to understand, right? Even if you win the game, those same things that you can learn from, they happened, right? So regardless, there's opportunity. Sometimes problems are opportunities in disguise, right? And there's definitely I'm proud of Anthony and the way he competed in the game.
I mean, he definitely had a couple very strong runs. I guess where I'm driving is kind of, there was a spell there where things kind of turned,
Yeah.
the tide turned.
Yeah, we got to help them. We got to help the players as coaches, you know. There's no question about it.
You knew you'd be going in shorthanded wide receiver wise. Did that pretty much play out as you expected or feared? How much did that affect the game?
I think we'll know a little bit more when we get down to it. But, yes, I mean, there's a handful of plays where we got our hands on the ball, you know. There's a handful of plays where the coverage is tight, you know, whatever the case may be. But, you know, we felt like the matchup in the slot was good, and we went there, you know, and that paid off. And then we had some opportunities to make some plays, you know. I mean, I think we felt like we could rush the ball. We rushed the ball, you know. But offensively, I don't know, what do we have, 460 yards, 38, you know. I think a lot of good, you know, just came up a little bit short. You know, some of the things that you knew going into the game that were going to be a challenge. The quarterback is a challenge, right? His legs were the difference in the game, right? I mean, anybody that watched that game would say, yep, quarterback, the legs of the quarterback of Florida State was the difference in the game. Guy gave us fits all night. So what else we got?
For Ricky, to have the kind of game he had, you didn't even know you were going to have him this week. What does that say about him, and when did you know he was ready to go?
Yeah, he passed the final test on Friday. He was moving through protocol during the week, felt fine, but obviously we're going to dot all the I's and cross all the T's, much like we do with any player. But, he was able to play and certainly, made an impact in the game. There's no question. He's a great competitor, and certainly a guy that has made our team better.
Time for just a few more
I
guys.
want to ask you about Rashad Torrance. What happened with him and the build-up to the contest to him not playing? How do you think the freshman, especially in some of the other underclassmen, stepped up with him?
Yeah, no, I think Rashad had an elbow. He was questionable. He wasn't able to do a ton during the week, during a short week, and then just didn't feel. It was almost a pain tolerance deal. I just didn't quite make enough progress late in the week and didn't feel good about putting him out there. So those guys that played took the majority of the reps throughout the week, anticipating that. And, you got some guys out there that are playing really first significant time, Kamari, obviously, he's out there competing his tail off. Donovan, those guys, they stepped up and competed in the game.
Last question right here in the front.
Billy, this is the 5th time that you guys have came back in the second half. I'm sure you probably prefer to not be in that situation, but you've been around a lot of football. Have you been around a team that's had that type of resiliency to be able to come back that many times in the season?
Yeah, I just really believe it speaks to the progress that we've made. Been a lot of times in this season where they could have just laid down and started pointing fingers and making excuses. It's probably what I'm most proud of is the toughness that this group has showed, the resiliency as competitors, right? And this game requires you to stick together when it gets thick, okay? And this is a cutthroat game, right? And it's one of the things I think that I'm most proud of this group, just as who they are as people, the progress they made as a team, the sincere care that they have for each other. They've worked hard on that, okay? And I know, we didn't win as many games, but, I think there's something to be said for the progress that they made as people, the character of the group, and certainly the type of team that they were. So we got fantastic leadership from several players, and certainly the staff's done a fantastic job. So I would hope that those are trademarks of Gator football, you know, going forward. Hopefully we come out on the other end a little bit more in the future.
I mean, Bill,
Thank you,
what are your
Coach.
thoughts
Yeah.
just on the rivalry, just experiencing this that?
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's humbling to be a part of, right? When you think about the players and the coaches that have played in that game, right? You know, every generation, right? When I grew up, that was the game, right? And humbling to be standing on that sideline, and proud of the way those kids competed in the game. Proud of it.